Everyone, and thank you for coming to Linda Albert's book launch. We're so thrilled to have another talented resident sharing her skills with us. Today we have her book for sale in the back, and it's a new poetry book that she's just released and entitled Charting the Lost Continent. Linda Albert is an award-winning, internationally published poet and essayist, and we're so thrilled to have her living here at Sarasota Bay Club amongst us. So I'd like you all to welcome her, please. Warm welcome. Linda's going to tell you all about her new book.
Well, compared to Kathleen, I am height challenged, so I hope you can all see me and hear me. Raise your hand if I drop. My daughter has made it very clear that I must not drop the end of any sentences. So if that happens, let me know. I am so excited to be here today. I've been writing as long as I can remember. And I published professionally since I was in my early 20s. My mother, who was a strong-minded and practical woman, this is not to disparage my mother, admonished me to stay away from being a poet. She said, and I think she wasn't far from the truth, most people don't like poetry, and you can't make a living from it. So wanting to please my mother, and also because her dream was that I would write a best-selling novel that would be made into a movie, and I would do that while raising my children and cooking with one hand and writing the novel on the other, and then I would become rich and famous with the other hand. And if any of you remember the movie The Egg and I, that was her motto. Sad for my mother, I never wrote a novel. And there I was, continuing to write poetry, sort of sneaking on the side. Meanwhile, I go off and do other things, raise children, get into various careers that I enjoyed. I love theater. I was worked for a communication consulting firm. I've done a lot of interesting things in my life. And here was this gift that was always nagging at me saying, what about that book? What about your poetry? And finally, after the joy, truly, I cannot tell you how grateful I am to be living at Sarasota Bay Club. I love it here, and at the risk of getting a little weepy, those of you who knew Stu, my significant other, who just passed away 3 weeks ago, loved it too. There wasn't really a day that went by that we didn't congratulate ourselves for our brilliance at moving here, and at getting to know so many lovely, interesting, warm people. So in any case, here I am, after I got settled in a beautiful apartment we never expected to pick because we wanted something larger that never came available, with views that are so conducive to being poetic. I finally sat down last spring and started to put my collection together. I worked all spring, all summer, and all fall. And finally, here it is, Charting the Lost Continent. What matters now? What matters now? The unmade bed I want to straighten, excitement in my chest, creative leaping, the way I'm wed to my computer, the poems spilling over without rest. What matters now? The pages that I longed to fill, the shirts I said today I'd iron, the polish chipping on my toes, the need to light a waiting candle, the time I've missed to meditate. What matters now? The poem.